Welcome back. So, today I'm going to go ahead and talk about pointers. So, what they are, how they're used, and we're going to go through numerous examples. So, the pointers are pretty much one of the most important parts of C++, as that is one of the things that differentiates C++ from many other programming languages, such as Java, where you do not have pointers at all. So, let me just go ahead and remove my cup. Okay, because it was making some noise in the back, I guess. I'm not sure if you can actually hear them. Doesn't really matter. Anyway, pointers are the types of objects with which we indirectly access other objects. So the content of a pointer is exclusively an address of a variable. So it's an address. And here you can see on the screen I have a little bit of this written out, but we will get to that in a moment. So to declare a pointer, we basically just place an asterisk in front of the variable name. So here you go. This is what I just did. I typed in int asterisk p. So basically what this is, this represents a declaration of a variable p, which is basically this is a variable p, but this is not actually of type int, but rather instead this is of type pointer to an int. So it's not an integer, it's a pointer to an integer. Keep in mind that assigning a value directly to a pointer is not allowed because pointer variable will only memorize addresses. So something like this. So p equals 1, 2, 3, 4 would definitely not be allowed at all. To assign, in order to do proper assignments, so in order for us to assign a variable address, so the address of a specific variable to a pointer, we will use the ampersand sign. And as you can see in this example, I have declared an integer variable x, and then I have taken its address and I have assigned it to our pointer p. So it's quite simple to put it in this way. So the expression ampersand x, as you can conclude and as I have stated, is interpreted as an address of x. So this is actually interpreted as an address of variable x and can only be applied to, and this can only be applied to a variable. Whereas the application to, for example, numbers and numerical expressions is not really allowed. Here's what I mean by that. I've already told you that you cannot, for example, say that p is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, but you can also not do this. You can also not take the memory address of something like, well, not in this fashion anyway, x plus 7. So this definitely would not work, and this most definitely would not work. So ampersand 7, this would not be understood, or it would produce unwanted results. Anyway, one more last thing that I want to mention here is the difference between a pointer and pointee. In our example, p equals ampersand x. Basically, p represents the pointer variable, and x is the pointee. So x is the pointee, object to which p points to. Okay, so I'm going to bid you farewell here, and I hope to see you in the follow-up where we will talk about dereferencing, because, okay, now this pointer points to the address of this variable, but how do we access that? How do we get that variable back via the pointer? So that's something that I'll talk about in the follow-up lecture. That will be dereferencing.